Till next time, He-Man.
Welcome to space. What were you expecting? It's a dangerous place. Thank you for investing. Go there for your rota, there for your orders. Fill up these quotas, we'll bill for your quarters. Report to your foreman, but watch for marauders. Cause if you get eaten, there's fees for your mourners. Prosperity's there in the care of magnates. In halcyon heaven awaits. Did you think it was supposed to look like the poster? It mostly does, oh, if you'd only read closer. Just 10 short years to a new frontier. Snooze as you cruise and you'll wake up here. You've been trapped in that ship for an awful long time, so perhaps you have simply forgot what you signed. Oh, honestly, did you not read the colony policy that defined you as company property? That wavered your say in autonomy. The conglomerates got you in lock and key. We put the dollar back into idolatry. If you're upset, you can rent an apology. We are a family forged in bureaucracy. No I in team, but there's con in economy. Were you expecting adventure? Were you hoping for fun? My friend, you're indentured and pleasure's exempt from your tenure. So venture back down to your slum that's provided at generous prices. Your worth is determined by your sacrifices. A small term of service went down on the surface. Internment's a freebie that comes with the purchase. We work to earn the right to work. 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 To earn the right to give ourselves the right to buy ourselves the right to live. To earn the right to die.
To our little town, why don't you settle down? You just fill out the paperwork and you could look around. We're happy as can be inside the Valley Cannery. We live to pack the cans of meat and not to question where it's found until we end up in the ground around the corner in the yard. You know, we thought we liked the sound of finding glory in the stars. The borders taught us to be proud of never reaching very far. So we earn what we're allowed and give it right back at the bar.
The ale to cure what ails you. Zero G brew, your favorite flavor. So work till you bleed, ennobled by labor, then purchase relief from your local retailer. If you'd rather drop dead, that's fine, but you know to drop it down dead, there's a fine. So you do your job and I'll do mine. I gotta meet a 6 foot deep bottom line. We make a fortune for the board by selling boredom door to door, because it's all that we deserve and it is all we can afford. The secrets of the universe and all the worlds to be explored, but our dreams are back on earth and now the work is our reward. And you'll be grateful for seats at the table, though it dips at one end and the bench is unstable. You may waste your days, but at least you were able to pay off your grave since we leased you your cradle. Be faithful and pray we'll repay what you invest. Behave as you slave for humanity's interest, on account that you're all on account and we're quickly amounting humanity's interest. You'd think that we'd sink to the brink of rebellion with markets dependent on peddling weapons. The architect tells them the secret to heaven is simply consuming whatever we sell them. We work to earn the right to work. 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 To earn the right to give ourselves the right to buy ourselves the right to live. To earn the right to die. Should've read the fine print, my friend. Should've read the fine print. You should've read the fine print, my friend. Should've read the fine print. Welcome to our little town. Why don't you settle down? You just fill out the paperwork and you can look around. We work and then 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 we end up in the ground. Welcome to our little town. Why don't you settle down? You just fill out the paperwork and you can look around. We work and then we work and then we work and then we work and then we work. Should've read the fine print. And here and here and initial here. Welcome to the family.
That might be my most diabolical video in history. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of Sasquatch, where everything is going to be as absolutely boring as I can make it. because I don't like surprises. Us autists, we kind of have an issue with it. But I was sitting around thinking, like with my little redneck brain with all the little wrinkles in it, and somebody asked me a question. What's up, Darlene? Welcome in. I'm gonna go through and say hi to chat in a minute, but I want to spit this out. Containers. Everybody talking about homesteading in containers. They gonna get a bunch of containers and go do something cool with it. And it's gonna be the bestest thing ever, I swear to you. You ever been in one of them Connexes? And Georgia's son, I swear to God, them things will cook a fucking turkey. It ain't no joke, man. And I'm not gonna say your name out loud, but thank you, sir, for the $2. I'm assuming that's a sir. I appreciate it. Hold up, let me get a ticker, because I do got a goal, right? Let me fix the ticker. I'll change this one. You should have read the fine print. And so when I was thinking about all them there containers and all them people, dragging random containers out to the world, I got to thinking, like, these things aren't exactly designed to be buried. You kind of gotta go in and do a bunch of structural stability on these things for them to be useful. If you're going to be doing any type of burying stuff, and if you're taking these things out to like the desert Southwest and you're burying them, that's kind of a double whammy, because it's amazing how hot and cold those things can be. I got everything backwards over here, and it's driving me crazy. Yeah, I figure I'm going to be slightly annoying with all of this anyway. We're going to do that. So I ran around on YouTube for a little while, and I did some searches on the whole container builds and things, and I noticed something. Amazon's got a few tiny houses that they've designed around the concept of container shipping, and there's a few other like private businesses that'll tiny house you a container, and some of them actually use shed frames instead of container frames for whatever reason, probably because of the problems they have with containers. One of the issues with containers is those things are pretty well sealed, bro. And if they ain't got no holes in them, you're basically building yourself a box to suffocate in, and that shit's scarier than hell. If you're going to have any type of non-electric heating or cooling or anything like that, you have to deal with airflow. Most people don't take that into consideration. The fact that you can stack them implies that you ought to be able to put a bunch of weight in them. That's not necessarily the case. They're designed to hold each other, not so much hold like weight across the flat of the container. And so if you try to pile sand or clay or rocks or anything, pea gravel, anything like that across the top of it, you'll just crush the damn thing just outright. Now there's a couple of gimmicks you can do that'll get you around that. Like, there is a material called perlite or vermiculite, both of which are types of expanded earth, it's basically just exploded gypsum or something, but they have zero nutrient value to them and weigh virtually nothing. And this has its benefits and its negatives. You can bury a container in this stuff with no modifications. The problem is that this stuff is so light a stiff breeze will blow it away. And so if you're taking it somewhere like the desert Southwest, while this appears like it may solve that problem, and it could under the right circumstances, if you don't have any grass or anything, roots to hold it in place, you're basically just waiting patiently for it to blow away. It'll have all the benefits that you'd get from burying it in dirt, the insulative qualities, the cool temperatures, all of that stuff. But yet again, you're also putting yourself in a bit of a hurt because airflow is an issue in these things. You do literally. I didn't realize that you literally have to design in airflow charts on these things in order to keep from making pockets of untreatable air, basically. So, like, if you've got 4 of these things slapped together and you've got a small mini unit in each one, and you put separate walls in there, if the doors don't line up and the airflow don't flow right from one room to the next, it's going to take more than that to deal with it, right? You can't just put one little mini split unit and expect it to handle all of that, no matter how powerful that split unit is. Also, if you're burying them, that puts all of your units above ground. And I don't know. We're going to take a look at a couple of these videos I've dug up, and I'm going to dig up a couple more, and we're going to call it square on that. Oh, what up, Crack Baby? I thank you. Thank you for the grift. Darn right. So now we only have to get 15 because Crack Baby Go is an absolute G unit and is trying to carry the entire stream on all of y'all. I saw what y'all just did to Dusty. That wasn't nice. But I figured, what the hell? What do I got to lose, right? Let me update some stuff. Yeet. We'll do some of that. And that is a cool ass name, by the way. I really like your name, bro. I'm not gonna say that shit out loud, but that is I might name my kid that. Right? That's pretty pimp. I like it. All right, so what this is a guy has gotten one of those quote unquote $10,000 Amazon deliveries homes, and he's had it delivered, and they have apparently already set everything up, and he's doing like the little walkthrough thing like you would do if you was a real estate agent or whatever. And I thought it was kind of neat, and figure we'll take a look at it and see what's what. We'll give him a like while we're at it.
Behind me is a 40-foot expandable container home. We're going to talk about the cost, the company that we got it from, how long it took to get it, what the setup process was like. Let's dive right into it.
Okay, so starting off, this is a video walkthrough of our prefabricated tiny home. We opted for the 40-foot length. They come in 20 and 30 foot, but we went with a 40. So the company we ordered this from is called Heishi Integrated Housing Co.
I just wanted you to be able to see the company name. Because, I mean, these things kind of have their place, I think, in society, but you might not want, a whole bunch of them right behind your house, because I think these are more bed and breakfast type scenarios than they are actual living in it type things. Go and get you 50 acres outside of some city somewhere and then set you up a Airbnb network like a trailer park, but different people living there constantly. You don't have any actual permanent tenants type things. Especially if you could find property somewhere near like some sort of huge venue, say like a sports stadium or Red Rock or some crap like that. You could probably charge whatever the hell you wanted for it on certain nights, right? And I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be just a license to print money unless there's laws against it. As long as everything was up to code and all the stuff was properly prepped, it wouldn't be much different from putting together a trailer park, but it would be something that, and crazy as this sounds, let's say something horrible happens and it destroys one of the units. You can literally come in with a fucking forklift and swap this thing out in about 2.5 hours and have a brand new unit in place and it back to making money. You rent that fucker that night. And that is interesting, especially if they offer different floor plans for the thing. That might be cool, because if you're moving, like you're homesteading or whatever, there's some basic stuff that you're going to need, and you can get all of that in one lump sum right here. Poof, you've got your living space, and it fits in with the container thing, and then you build the other containers into your barns and your chicken coops and your duck pens and your all your tack and stuff like that. Keep all your feed dry and everything, and you don't have to worry so much about any of the water and toiletries and all that stuff. But I mean, it's got its limits.
They're based out of China, and we found their company using Alibaba, and they just had excellent reviews, and they specialized in these prefabricated homes. So that's why we decided to go with that company. Their production time was approximately 30 days at the warehouse, and then it took about a month of shipping overseas. Once the container home arrived at the port, we were given about a 24-hour notice of delivery to our property. And because of that short notice, Kurt only had about 12 hours to prepare the pad.
So this tells you that when ordering a house online, you should probably go ahead and prep your site as far as you can. Did I just catch a raid or something? My numbers just tripled. Something just have somebody bot attacking me. That's what's going on. Oh no, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to continue with the show until we reach our goal, and if we don't, I'm going to leave, and that's how that works, right? But yeah, when you're ordering for stuff online, a lot of times people aren't prepared for it, so it shows up, and you don't know exactly where you're going to stick it or how much. What kind of a slab do you need? Does it have to support a bunch of weight, or can you just throw it on some, country boy sloppy slab over yonder and bolt it down? Obviously, you want everything straight and level. All of the connections and everything is already built into the inside. So for the most part, this thing should be plug and play. You want a homestead, go get you a couple of containers, one of these mail order houses, slap that sucker up there, and for $15,000-$20,000, you can pretty much move in 72 hours or so. But you got to do the prep work. Once you have your site, you have to go ahead and lay your pad. You got to do all of your septic, all of your everything, and then plop that sucker down on top of it, plug and play. You can have your pole set done and everything done before any of that stuff ever shows up. The pole set you might want to hold on if you have the option, but everything else, your septic, your water, your well, all of that stuff should be handled before that house ever has a stick on it. Because if you don't, what'll end up happening inevitably, you will have chosen the best spot for a well to put your house. and you'll end up with problems, man. I've seen it happen at least 3 times. People drag in some shed or something they're going to use to camp out in the woods, and they, for whatever reason, choose the most level spot they can find, and that spot happens to be a 20-foot deep sand pit full of water, and then they have to move the thing because they need the water more than they need this spot. And so just do your prep work. That's what it takes. Go ahead, take a week before you even put in the order and lay everything flat. So that if you get a 24-hour notice that shit's going to show up, you can at least have the slab down first.
And that wasn't necessarily due to lack of planning on our part. We were just incredibly busy finishing out the build of our second food truck and working on the home. And we thought we would be given at least a 2-week notice of delivery. However, that didn't happen. So anyways, moving on, the cost of the house. For the container home itself, it was $15,800. Once you...
All right. Not counting a pole set, the land, taxes, code clearance, and pad, septic, well set, pole set, what else would be any drainage that you have to put in, call it $16,000, and you can basically have a turnkey homestead. It's not a bad price tag, considering that if you've already reached the point where you're putting a house on the property, you've already gone through and either bought or leased the property. You've got your easement, you've got your driveway, you've got all of these things you have to do before a homestead's even actually possible. Because you're not exactly going to be hauling these things in there by horseback, right? So you've got to deal with the driveway, all of your drainage problems, find you a spot that's not going to flood, whatever permits and clearances you have to do with whatever county you're in. And consider this, this is not a tiny house situation. This is the living unit of a larger house. And so that's a big difference from just taking a little collapsible house. Yeah, I've seen those. We're going to take a look at one of those 20-foot jobs in a minute. Yeah. And they're kind of cool too, but basically the reason you would choose a 40 foot is because your 40-foot one comes in with like a front porch and a couple of little back porches that fold out on it and a couple of rooms that pop off both sides, and it fits inside the design of making a type of container build. And some things are easier to use as a container structure than other things. Building a house in one is possible, but it's a very uncomfortable house to move around in, and it doesn't feel right when you're in it, right? It feels like a trailer. And I don't mean like a trailer house. I mean, what's up, God's favorite aunt? Welcome in, bud. But like Darlene, thank you, doing that good work. I don't know Eternal. I don't know who you're talking about. But I mean, you've already spent say $100,000 getting the property, your pole set, your septic, your well, your location, getting all the surveys done and all of the water checked and all the stuff you've got to do. Right. If you're at that point, dropping $16,000 on a ready-made house, you could basically bolt down and click the switch and turn it on. That's pretty pimp. But you should also count into it that you never get proper service at the proper time. And so if you're trying to move into it ASAP, you might want to make a plan to be a week late on the power getting hooked up, which is a week late on everything running. Now, if you're doing the full off-grid thing, that's a whole other ball of wax, because you've got to have access to power to run a well pump. You've got to have access to power to do a bunch of different stuff. And so you have to go ahead and do your batteries, do your solar panels, figure out where all that's going to come from. Welcome in, Fletch. Good to see you, bud. And, yeah, that's where a lot of people trip up, is they get the containers delivered and they either don't have anywhere to put them, or they haven't prepped to actually make a functional go at it. And so they end up basically living in the 1800s, trying to just eke through the lean times. But it's not that it can't be done. I got a guy at the end of all this. I've got a dude that called Frugal Off Grid, and he's basically done that very thing with nothing more than a couple of donkeys and a dog. And I mean, it's also a pretty cool channel. So
Added in the shipping, which was door to door, the tariffs and the taxes and all fees associated, our total came out to $28,689. So if you'd like to stick around and see how we got it all set up, just continue watching. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025, and we have something very exciting happening today. We are getting our container home delivered. As you can see behind me, Kurt's in the skid steer, getting the final touches done on our house pad, well, not house pad, container pad, because it's going to get delivered in about...
So you're saying no pad. Are you putting footses under it, I wonder? Because, I mean, you got to have some kind of clearance under it, because, you know, things rust.
30 minutes from now.
Oh, and that's another point, French drainage systems. If you can't pour a pad, the very least you should do is put down enough gravel for it to drain. You know, whether you dig a hole and fill it with gravel and French drain it out that way, or you sump it, or how you want to do it, it's necessary.
So we've been so busy with getting the food truck started that we haven't had a chance to get this pad totally ready. So he's doing the best he can to get it leveled out right now. Ideally, we would have had gravel out here, but you know, you can't win them all. So our telehandler got delivered this morning for unloading and setting it in place. Very exciting, making huge moves. And yeah, we can't wait to show you what it looks like when we get it unloaded, unfolded, and just what that whole process looks like. So stay tuned.
It's a dog. Look at the cute little puppy dogs. So I don't have anything specifically negative to say about this, except, like I said before, there seems to be a distinct lack of septic, pole set, power, water, all of that. Now there's a home site not far away, so I'm sure they're going to function off of that no problem. And this is going to be for like your modern amenities or whatnot, which is fine. I mean, got nothing particular, no particular hate on it, but a gravel pad if nothing else, man.
What about you, Harv? Get it. Huge shout out to Pro Rentals getting us this giant telehandler last minute. Literally like, I don't know, 12-hour notice.
Cute animals. Noted.
Taking the door off so we can climb in and out of the skid steer if we need to be chaining and doing stuff with it, halfway holding up the tiny house.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Okay, we got everything set up and ready. Telehandler over there, Harvey right here, Olive right there, skid steer, and Kurt is just checking grade one more time. We just spoke with the delivery driver. He said that he's about 15 miles away. So there's gonna be pretty soon there's gonna be a
You see that damn stick he's carrying? That is one of the most annoying pieces of construction equipment on God's green earth. The reason it's annoying is because you don't really consider what square to the ground, I guess plumb, is until you're standing there trying to find a fucking laser that's the size of a cigarette, and you're like swaying that fucker back and forth, and you don't know if you're high or low or what, and you just kind of gotta guess at it until you find where it's at, and then when you do find it, you gotta adjust everything, which that's not too hard, that's not too bad. A little bit of dirt work ain't never killed nobody.
tiny home here.
A lot of stuff through the bloggers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I was wondering about this part. So apparently it comes rolling in on a 40-foot container itself, which I guess means that clearly it fits within that 40-foot space, right? Let's see how it unfolds.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, this so we'll want to pull straight in and slide it out. Yeah, so it's a tiny home.
Tiny home?
Yeah, and the sides they flip up, and then the wall and the floor drops down, and then the wall stands up to hold out the side.
Oh, really?
And then the outsides pop in. And so it basically goes out to 19 feet wide.
Oh,
And so 19 feet by the length of the container
Welcome,
here.
everyone. It's good to see you, bud.
where does this come from?
Smoking
From
Space
China?
Man. Good
Yeah,
to see you.
from China. We bought it. How much is it?
And just trash that thing around. All right, that's interesting. Bruh. Anybody else see that thing swinging down and you can call them both the forks?
Doesn't take much because if you look down here, they greased it up, so it wants to just slide in and out.
Yeah, just try to go like this. Just go like that.
I'm gonna try to keep it tight.
Yeah. wonder how much that thing weighs. Lube is your friend. That's right, Fletch. You know the game, bro. Good job. That's right. Grease it up, slide it out. Good girl. Okay, now what?
I want to check something real fast.
So we're gonna strap it, huh? Oh man, I'm on bated breath. Come on, you can't keep fucking teasing me like this.
All right. Now the big.
Back up, bro. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Good job. All right, so now what?
Okay, so we just got the container out of the semi. So now what we're doing is we're gonna get the corners chained up so that we can lift it up and shift it this direction, and we can get the semi out of here before our 2-hour unloading limit is up. We still have about 40 minutes, so we should be all good.
Okay.
Fortunately, we don't have another way for him to drive out, so. Got it out of the road here.
Oh, cool. You can.
This
just
isn't where it's
straight
gonna
lift
stay,
and
but
everything
we
on the
did
corners. That's neat.
move it far enough to where the semi can back out of here now and he can get on with his day.
I wonder how far that man has to back that truck up, because that could be some hair-raising activities if you ain't used to it. Especially if you end up on like a soft-shouldered location where it's downhill in both directions. You start backing that damn thing up, and it wants to go all cattywampus on you. Yeah, but I'm not sure how heavy that trailer is, so he unloaded in the roadway because they knew the roadway was heavy enough to carry the truck and the trailer, and so you drop it in the roadway and then pick it up. If you look at how deep the Tella thing is, I don't know. I don't think I'd back that truck in that sand either.
Well, the door works. You can see the elevation change. Right up here is like 4 inches, and over there it's tight.
This is good news. I can already tell that there's multiple outlets.
Oh, wow.
I've seen reviews where people say that there's only one outlet per room, and we were prepared for that, but
Ooh, I like these
That's
windows.
check it out.
Ooh, they seal up nice.
We'll see.
Here's our switches. So far, the fit and finish seems good. Electrical. They did a good job with all the silicone.
Oh, I'm excited to unfold it.
I really, this is what it's a metal.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, the fellow constructors out there, shouldn't this thing at least be on some footers or something? No way you just set that thing straight on the ground. Right? I mean, am I nuts? Yeah, there's no way it'll last long term. That's what I was saying. If you're just plopping something down until you can get some stuff constructed, this thing is perfect. You spend $28,000 plop, you can spend 10 years working on your dream home, and you've got somewhere to take a dump. But you should definitely have this thing set down. And like I said, I would have, if nothing else, absolutely nothing else, I would have brought in a whole shit ton of gravel and put it up 2 foot on top of that gravel, and then put footers on top of the gravel. And that way, when it rains, it will shift and it will move, but it shouldn't be first of all, it'd be really easy to fix. You'd literally just jack the fucker up, pull the footer out, shove some gravel in the hole, and do it again until it stops sinking. But yeah, pouring a pad would be your best bet. I mean, probably ain't even got to be too much to it. Just a slab for it to sit level.
That looks like wood, and it's got foam backing on it.
Yeah, we paid for the upgraded insulation, right? With the
Yeah.
metal?
Yeah, upgraded insulation, and then on this is what the exterior windows look like. It's black, and that's
Stop
actually
teasing us. Unfold
really
it. I wanna
nice.
see
Trim
it.
details. Doesn't look bad at all.
I'm excited.
What do you think, Olive? All right, so we just
Okay.
kind of got this propped up. We got this one with the gas struts, which really helps. We were wondering if we should put any poly down on the ground. You know, I
Yes.
think it would be nice too, but at least there's cement board. If this was like OSB or something, I would be like, yeah, let's probably get some. Here's for lighting. Done really easy.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess the struts aren't there to hold it up. This sounds like a bad idea, man. Right? I'd have had a 2 foot on at least gravel. I live in clay country. We could set that thing on a waterproof, impermeable red brick pad, 18 feet thick if we wanted to, and I'd still put gravel on it. Almost hits a scar at the bottom. That bitch hard.
After we unfold it, you
mean-
can.
There's no way for them to go through and do any leveling. I mean, if your grading wasn't flawless, there's no way to fix it at this point without completely folding that thing up and picking it back up. That was my complaint right out the gate. Not enough planning. They ordered it and they were like, okay, it'll be there tomorrow, and they were like, shit. And ran out and started cutting down trees and stuff, trying to make a space to put it. No, you need to be ahead of the curve on that shit. You do not order it until, I would rather have my shit ready and waiting for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, rather than have it show up and having to put it straight on the ground. No. I kind of feel like you should have done that. You see that arch in the middle of it? I kind of feel like you should have done that with the skid steer. How the walls pop up.
So we're just analyzing, right?
What are we thinking, chat? Is this a good thing? A bad thing? I mean, we've already had the conversation that we definitely want to put it down on pad of some kind. Obviously, better prep work, that kind of stuff. But I mean, you just call up somebody and a house shows up. Isn't that cool? Is that cool? Is that a good thing? I don't know. I tell you, I got a whole drove of kids, and one day we're gonna have to put houses around them fuckers, and I'm not above calling up Amazon and being like, hey, stick a house over there. I ain't got no hate for it, but we do what we do, right?
Now, how we want to try to get this wall lifted up. In all of the tutorial videos that we got sent from the manufacturer, they usually have like 10 or 15 guys along this side that all lift it up at the same time. And we want to figure out the best way we can lift it using our machines without damaging the side walls or the ceiling or anything like that. So we're just working on figuring that out right now.
All right. right? So, chat, how do you lift this wall without damaging it? Oh God, that is bad. Look, you see on the left side how that is bowed. The whole freaking structure is bowed. Ugh. Chinese company and product. Hey man, $20 and $20 is what it come down to. And if you're just trying to put a roof over somebody's head, immediately the ability to like order some shit from China, I don't know. As long as you pay your tariffs and everything, you're good. Right?
All right, ready? You got the height?
Got it.
Well, I mean, if you have the proper prep work, right? And you were trying to homestead somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, you could go out there on a couple of weekends before you do the ordering, lay down all your prep work, and then when it shows up, you just slap that sucker down, bolt it into place, and hook up your water, and you're in like Flint. How good is it? What's the quality of construction? The fact that it warps sitting on the ground doesn't really say a whole lot about it. The method he's using to unbox is, I'm sure, controversial at best. I might have gone a different way. I'm not sure what way, but I if I had my hands on it, I would work it out so that I opened everything evenly on the corners, which I'm sure is how it's supposed to be done. Right, not necessarily camping so much, but the ability to have a kitchen, a sink, a bathroom, and a bedroom, and not have to spend $500,000 to do it. You could do it in 40,000, and it's at least serviceable for a couple, maybe a couple and a kid. It's a little bigger than van life, but there's still a lot that has to go into it for it to be a home. So yeah, I say it's good for a startup project. You're going out and you're building your dream homestead or whatever, and poof, there you are. You got a place to live where you're putting it together. You can build a whole ranch out of that thing. And later, when you get your shit together and you got your house built or whatever it is you're doing out there, this can be like the guest accommodations, and that works out long term too.
Yeah, just the siding's sitting on it right now, so I don't want it to push it through.
Okay, Rosie.
Other end?
You mind if I put Rosie in a bucket for a minute?
You can take her home with you.
Just put a lid on it just for a few minutes.
All right, that's a good question. The one reason I can see right off the top is the ability to lift that fucker with a single lull. That's something you can't do with a double wide or even a single wide for that matter. You can't just lift them straight up and set them down on something. More's the pity, because that would be super cool, but you can't do it. So this can actually get into a few places you can't get a trailer home into. Although I have seen some absolute freaking magicians with those things that are able to put them in places you would not expect them to be able to go. And those guys are amazing. And never hate your truck driver. Just love him and give him a tip. Big glass of iced tea when he gets there. Okay, that should do it.
Okay. Does that look all right? All right, so to get this wall up with the tractor, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some 2x6s, and I'm gonna kind of screw them into a C shape or like a U shape with 3 2x6s, and we're gonna slide it on the end of the wall, hook our straps up to those 2x6s to pull it up, because there's no good place to hook up to it without damaging it or having it
Welcome in,
taco on
Joko.
us.
Good to see you, bud.
Ciao, Henry. Go stand by Mama. Thanks.
Well, yeah, they can get a truck in, but truck trailers are a little more robust than trailer home floors. And I've seen a handful of situations where somebody ordered a trailer home, it got delivered, and the frame was twisted when it got down the old logging road it had to go down to get to where they were putting it. There's also the probability that these folks are doing this largely for the views on YouTube, right? Yeah, thank you, trucker. Absolutely. Without truckers, we're all screwed.
There you go. Slide on.
Okay. How you gonna get it up straight though? Oh, yeah. See, so you didn't use your manpower to start with. You should have.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You need me to come over there, Shell?
That was it.
So because we only had a few hours to level this pad, it's probably it's maybe half inch lower than the other side. And when you go to
Yeah.
swing this
There's
out,
your problem.
right here, it starts to hit just a little bit. So I'm just gonna pry down with this bar, and Shell's gonna swing that open, and it should give us. Oh, let me get this 2x4 out of here. It should give us the space that we need,
Right.
clearance wise. So I'll pry down on
Long-term
this, and you
solution
can
here,
try to
folks.
swing that door. Okay.
Absolute genius.
I couldn't tell if it's all the way.
It looks
on the outside.
it looks good, and there's spots to screw and suck it tight against those seals.
Okay.
Nice.
Well,
Same
I hope
thing
you
on this side.
enjoyed
The
that
side's
because
about
that's
an
probably the
inch
last
well.
time that window's going to.
I'm just gonna put my pry bar under there. Pry it up.
Ready?
Yep. No scrapage. Oop.
I think we're okay.
Okay. All right, push tight. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we have
And
a
this
wall.
will be the kitchen.
That's one of
Okay,
the
so we
easiest
have
walls I've ever seen
Half of it
installed.
popped out now. We'll have to do this later. We're running out of daylight, but
Nice hardware.
this side opens up too. But you can get an idea.
This is a
of it
family
all
show,
opened
sir.
up.
You're
This
damn right. There's
wall
spots to screw and suck.
right here
Damn right.
Is
I
still
wouldn't
gonna
have bought it
swing
otherwise.
swing out, and it'll be a big partition wall here. So basically from this spot moving forward will be the start of the great room. This whole area Kurt's walking in is the kitchen. So we'll have to install all the cabinets and the sink, and here is the bathroom, which we were just measuring. We're gonna get a new vanity for in here. This is a pretty small sink area, just not very much storage and no countertop space. So I just found one we're gonna replace. But toilet, shower. We'll probably get to the rest of
I
this
mean, it's
on
not terrible,
Saturday
right?
after our concrete job, but this is where we're at so far.
Like I said, for a plug and play job, I could live with it. Especially if, it was part of a bigger plan, everything was already prepped up like it's supposed to be, but
This is the hot water heater.
nope.
If that tells you how small that is.
Been a couple of days since we've been able to work on the house, and it's been raining every day that since we've gotten it set up, and we're coming into the house, finding a couple spots where we're having troubles with leaking.
No shit. You don't say. And now that it's rained, that sucker's going to sink about 4 inches. I'd like to talk to the crew that came in after this to put that thing up on pillars, because on-demand hot water is cool. I used to build off-grid lodges, and hot water was one of the things that apparently people just hadn't really thought about how to accomplish out here in the sticks like this. And with the way we always handled it is you take some, this. Okay, so I'm an old redneck, and I learned all of this on the job. So like, bear with me on my language here. That you use hard Driscoll line, and you create like 3 or 4 of them as long as the building, and you have a choice depending on how you're going to insulate the building. You either insulate it against the ceilings, and if you do that, which is 12-foot ceiling, and then you've got the roof above it, you take these tubes, run them the full length of the ceiling, and strap them to the roof line. And because it gets super stupid hot up in the attic, it's not going to scorch you. You won't get boiling hot water out of this thing, but it costs absolutely nothing. And any type of hot water system you install takes from that already previously warmed water. And what makes this actually work is a combination of factors. In the winter, well, in the summer, it gets hot as hell up there because of the sun shining on the roof. But in the winter, when you're actually inside the lodge and you've got the 2 or 3 wood stoves burning in the damn thing, every ounce of heat that's going up that escapes the insulation gets trapped up there. And so even in the winter, you're not trying to heat water from, the 60 degrees or 58 degrees that's coming out of the ground at. You're heating water that's, whatever the temperature inside the lodge is. And that's, 60, 70, sometimes as much as 80 degrees because you're running a wood stove or whatever. And it can turn a shower that would ordinarily, you'd use one of those small 20-gallon tanks of propane a week to keep your shower and your hot water running. It can turn that into 3 weeks. And it's just, go ahead and take care of the major temperature difference and then just deal with the little bit of temperature difference when you're actually making the hot water and you're going to use it. That on-demand situation is pretty handy.
We did notice the other day that there's a crack under here where you can see daylight. So we're going to have to get all those filled.
We should sit down and talk about some of my cooling hacks that I did when we was doing that. This whole buried pipe shit that you see people using out in the desert, if you've got enough pipe around, that works amazingly well here. And here's the cool part. Because we're in a clay slab that's like 700 foot deep or something like that, when you dig your well, you can just go ahead and sink you an extra fucking pipe down there. Go ahead and construct the fucking return at the top, and then drop it down in sections so that it's fully dry and you don't have any water that gets into it. And then you can straight up cool your whole freaking airspace using basically 2-3 inch pipe, something like that. I've always preferred bigger pipe because that lets you drop a pump down in the bottom of it and pump out any condensation and moisture that fills up the bottom of the pipe. You just straight up just drop a pump in it. Your other option is on that, and I did do this one time, but I only did it once, and I didn't like the way it worked out. You take, they make these bags of like hydrogel, and you build a return and pack the return with hydrogel. And so your return is, 12 times bigger and more porous than your actual cooling pipe. So your cooling pipe's 3 inches, your return's 10, 12, 16 inches, something like that. And so the air has to go through it and no moisture ever gets in there in the first place. And in theory, if you ever have to change them out, you basically just go in and pull the hydrogel out, lay it out in a hot place, and it'll dry out. But in Georgia, that didn't really work out too super swift because there's really nowhere that's actually dry because we have like 90 some odd percent humidity 90% of the time. So like it would just basically slowly turn into mold food.
Then down here where Kurt is, we've got a problem with water leaking down the wall. I don't know if you can see it running down.
It can't be much, bro.
Kind of pooling.
And there is another factor here. If you would take this design and go through and hand build one in a shop somewhere and use things like structure core walls and like 2-inch foam inserts and whatnot in between your studs and all that, you could probably do it for about 3 times the cost and it actually be a good build, right? You could do a hand build on it and make it a good build. The design seems to be solid. It's the execution that's a bit, you know,
It's leaking where I put the strap around it when we unloaded it with the telehandler, where the strap was ripped the seam tape, which is why it's leaking.
Anyways, we're going to work on some of the interiors.
or maybe it's leaking because you put it on, you know, sand and didn't actually level sand. You checked grade, you didn't level it. You just graded it, and that's not apparently good enough. So maybe a slab, and that won't be a problem. You hope OG watches this.
Stuff, and then if the rain lets up, we'll work on getting this other half unfolded.
Oh, there it goes.
Whoa!
Man, almost let it hit the tractor.
Gee, that's a lot of weight coming out of there.
This guy. Whoa!
All right. So they've advanced their capabilities on this. They've got the bat wing up, and instead of just prying on the bottom with a couple of 2x4s, they've actually built a lip, and it looks like it might actually be screwed into place. So safer in general, but what are we doing here, I wonder?
Folded.
Oh, there it goes.
Whoa!
Man, almost let it hit the tractor.
Gee, that's a lot of weight coming out of there.
This guy. Whoa!
Yeah, no, but he's talking about the fact that that tractor's supporting it on. You see how arched that thing is? That's what he was worried about. Because your whole wall just bent. I don't hate it. I don't hate
It's definitely hitting. I kind of tucked him into here.
Just pulled this off.
like this. Last
The
time.
three of us are going to push the wall up higher. Kurt's just adjusting the 2x4s down there to be
2x4 down.
out of the way.
It might be enough though to let me get into it.
it. So what's the point of the little arms that are over there? Or what? I mean, do you remove those? No. Nuh-uh.
Nice. There we go.
Oh, no.
Ball.
Right?
All right, Shell,
Okay.
you're on it.
I don't hate
Oh no.
it. Same problem as the other one.
Crowbar!
She all built
Oh,
out.
no.
Oh, this isn't good.
Crowbar!
Oh, that's pretty cool. See it all in fast speed. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh man, I used to make those doors, that sliding glass door over yonder, doors like that. And that is not a
We're
happy
back out
thing
here
that they
today
just
to
did.
keep working on the house. Kurt's outside spreading some gravel so we can try to get better control over how much dirt is coming in and out, but help
Well,
keep
you
it
know
cleaner.
what would
but
help with that?
yeah, we've got all
A
these
porch,
kitchen
maybe
cabinets
some
in the middle of the
stairs,
floor
you know,
here that will need to get
possibly
installed.
a little,
We've got
little lift
some
off the dirt.
trim to kind of close these gaps
Just
on the
me,
floor.
Stace.
We're going to
Welcome
work
in,
on weather sealing
NC Tire Hunter,
and
good to see you, bud.
bolting and
I'm
let's see
assuming
what
that's
else.
still
All
you.
of the light fixtures need to be installed. There's a handful of switches. The light fixtures
Am I seeing daylight through that wall? I do believe I am.
need to be installed. There's a handful of switches that need to get installed. So we're going to be just working on cleaning and unpackaging and doing some finish work, and hopefully we can make some good progress on all of that today. Oh, I forgot to mention that there's this plastic film on every square inch of this place. And I'm trying really hard to decide if this is a project I want to tackle or not. Ultimately, I'd like to have the plastic film off, but it doesn't peel easily. I tried to get this off last night, but it just starts to tear and it just doesn't come off easily.
You've got about 2 days of razor work to go around and get all that film off. And I hope you weren't planning on painting anything. You'll never get the backing glue off of it.
But probably get a knife and cut it and see if we can get some of this off. But this is going to be a major task. I mean, it's on every wall, every piece of trim, the ceiling, the door. It's everywhere. So.
And I'm just that type of asshole.
Yeah.
I might actually just leave it there.
Our house
Right?
came saran
Like
wrapped.
the old lady with the plastic still on the sofa. I mean, you know, anybody that rents the joint's gonna fucking peel it off. Like, they can't help it, so. Yeah, there's the answer. We'll just put some gravel out here. That'll fix everything. Dude, that shit is so close to the ground. I'm fucking evil. Alright, I'm assuming y'all aren't wanting to open the panel. I was really hoping somebody would bring me some brand new freaking Skeletor memes. Hell yeah. Some brand new locales. That's what I wanted when I got down to it. What are we gonna do? Some porch squatching? Nah, hard pass on that. Some Biden stuff. AJOT smokes. Math I can do. I'd be like, what is with all the mathematics? It didn't work. And swings, we got blue image. Actually, I like that tune. I'm gonna do that tune again. So this, I think, is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. If y'all can't cough up $20, my time's not free. It's not my fault. I'm learning directly from the master himself, and I lost my clip. So y'all are gonna have to wait until I find it again.
This guy is Teflon. He is like who in the world could I say nearly 100 felony criminal charges have been leveled against the former president? And he is still like rallying and campaigning. I feel like he like eats his shit and it just like makes him tanner and younger and stronger. I feel like he eats it with like a golden spoon that's like emblazoned with the Mar-a-Lago emblem, and he's just like, give me more charges. It's like amazing. You better not cut that and make that a video.
That's not playing at all, is it? I'm gonna fix that.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
A few moments later.
What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention. deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lied. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Yeah. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mick. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies. But no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pic on their profile, yeah. Signaling their virtues on their profile.
Hey, I have terminal brain cancer. You know what that's given me? Absolute clarity and nothing else.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 99, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have long been proven by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Oh, never mind, you will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they faded. But trust me, in 20 years, you'll look back at your photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You are not as fat as you imagine. Don't worry about the future, or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. The real troubles in your life are apt to bring things that never crossed your worried mind. The kind that blindside you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Sing. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, only with yourself. Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. If you succeed doing this, tell me how. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives, and some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll divorce at 40. Maybe you'll dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance. So are everybody else's. Enjoy your body. Use it every way you can. Don't be afraid of it or what other people think of it. It's the greatest instrument you'll ever own. Dance. Even if you have nowhere to do it, but in your own living room. Read the directions, even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Get to know your parents. You never know when they'll be gone for good. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past, and the people most likely to stick with you through the future. Understand that friends come and go, but for the precious few you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle, because the older you get, the more you need the people you knew when you were young. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you soft. You should travel. Accept certain inalienable truths. Prices will rise, politicians will philander, you will get old, and when you do, you'll fantasize that when you were young, prices were reasonable, politicians were noble, and children respected their elders. Respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Maybe you have a trust fund, maybe you'll have a wealthy spouse, but you never know when either one might run out. Don't mess too much with your hair, or by the time you're 40, it will look 85. Be careful whose advice you buy, but be patient with those who supply it. Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's actually worth. But trust me on the sunscreen, that's a fact.